Okay guys, I'm going to tie another easy pattern that's probably the best pattern for panfish like bluegill. It's good in all through the summer and early spring. Pretty much with this pattern, if you can see the fish, you can catch it. So here's a one I tied using a foam body. Got some rubber legs on there. I'm actually not going to tie one. It's not really a foam spider, but it is a spider. It's just as easy. It's just as effective. You can fish this wet or dry. There's more of what I'm going to be tying. It's got the body is made out of dubbing, any color. So we'll get to it here. We're going to use a size 10 standard nymph hook. Like I said, this is something that if you're just starting off fly tying, you can easily tie, and you can, if this is the only thing you have in your box, I mean, you're gonna slam. So pretty much anything from a size 12 to a size 8 maybe. You can go smaller. It's just really whatever you want. Use whatever color dubbing you want here. Usually I use natural for this, like a natural dub, but I'm gonna try something different this time. I'm gonna use some olive dubbing, and I'm gonna use these juicy legs, chartreuse, for the rubber legs. So I'm gonna use dark brown ultra thread since I don't have olive. So start out, all we're gonna do is do a jam knot and just put a little thread base down on the hook. Wrap down to about there, then come back, leave a little space at the eye. Well, actually, since I'm doing this with dubbing, I'm going to do this in reverse. Start at the back. Get my dubbing here. Gonna use quite a bit of dubbing because I want to get this thing nice body on this thing. So take this dubbing, put it on my hook or my thread. Now you can do some, these wraps are kind of loose. Just get kind of a thorax going there. It's pretty good size. Now we're just going to take a little more, just a little bit dubbing, and kind of make a little middle section there. So we've got our thread about halfway down the hook shank, and now we're going to put our rubber legs in. I've got some knots tied in these. That's kind of optional. Just, it's kind of hard to do, but it's not that hard. So if you want to do that, you can. You can also you can put double legs on there, put 4 legs on each side, or just 2. Just whatever you want. So kind of a trick to get these right is you can make some loose wraps, a couple loose wraps, and you can kind of move them how you want them. So got those pretty much where I want them. Now we're going to put the other side on. It's kind of tricky with these knots. Got to get them the right direction. I just kind of made some tight wraps on there. Now what I'm gonna do, take some white yarn. I'm busy, Mom. Take some poly yarn and sorry about that. Take a little bit of poly yarn here. And we're gonna take this. And what this is going to do, this is going to be a strike indicator, so you can see your spider. Make some tight wraps. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fold this top section down and go over it like that. Actually, I'm just gonna split it down the middle like that. Now we're gonna take a little more dubbing, just so I can cover up my thread. Just a tiny bit. Go over that. Now I'm gonna lift these legs up and go underneath all that stuff, and we'll get some more dubbing and finish off the head of this fly. Okay, so we'll wrap that dubbing on there. Almost done here. Just wrap that down there. So we kind of made a little head there. Now what we're going to do is just going to whip finish it. Kind of tricky with those legs. make 2 whip finishes if you want to, just whatever you feel comfortable with. Trim it off. Might put a little thing of head cement right here. And if you didn't put the dubbing on here, you might want to put some fly head cement on your thread right here. But that should be pretty good right there. That's a spider. As you can see there, that should do pretty well on your panfish and your smaller bass. This is probably the best fly you can have for like farm ponds, lakes, shallow water. That's just a good look at it. So you can put some fly head cement or fly floating on there so it'll float better. That poly yarn will help it float. If you want it to sink, you might want to take the poly yarn off and just get it saturated in water. It'll be a wet fly. So that should do pretty good. That's the spider.